This week here at Motech Performance, we're taking a non-Ultimate Pack G90 M5 and building our Motech version of the Ultimate M5. So it's a gorgeous morning, we've got some lovely sunshine, and behind me we have this awesome chilly red JCW. Now, I actually used to have a JCW myself, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for these, and it's no different with the new one. They have subtly numbed the car down a little bit due to emissions, Euro regulations, that kind of stuff. So when we got approached about building something quite special, the whole idea with it was let's go as wild as possible to try and counter that. We did that with the Neodyme Gold M-W1 wheels. We've also done the 3D center cap just to add that last little bit of detail to it. The car is obviously lowered, it's on AC Schnitzer suspension, and also we've done the AC Schnitzer side skirts. Now, we are desperately, and should I say impatiently waiting for the exhaust system. They've done one for the Cobra S, but given that this is the fully blown JCW, we are having to wait for it. We are also doing the front splitter, the rear spoiler elements and the canards. They're coming over on the next pallet, so again, impatiently waiting for those. But there is more to come on this car, but I think it's actually stunning. The way it sits at the minute is really nice and OEM plus. Once we get all the bits on it, it'll be really aggressive, but it's such a nice car, especially for a day like today to go driving around in. Take a look over the car and let us know what you think. Behind me then we have this stunning example of a G90 M5. This is a non-Ultimate Pack from BMW. What that essentially means is it's missing the carbon fibre kit, but that's not a problem for us. We have other means and ways around that. Now, we're taking this car and we are currently fitting the carbon fibre rear spoiler, the carbon fibre mirror caps to it. We're awaiting a bit more development on parts to then choose what front splitter, what side skirts, what rear diffuser we want to put on it. Now, in the background, Ram Air have been out and they're doing a bit of development work, making their carbon fibre intake system for the car. Now, they've done all of their measurements and final production is coming along very well, and it won't be long until we see an intake kit for the car, which is quite exciting because there's not many available yet. In terms of other parts, the car's now lowered on Cobra lowering springs. This looks phenomenal. What a difference it makes. The cars, it seems like BMW are just raising their cars by the day. We saw it with the G87 M2. That sat abnormally high compared to how the previous cars used to come, and the M5's no exception to that. They come sitting ridiculously high. So the Cobra kit has helped brought it down, and what better way to complement it than wheels, of course. Now, the car's wheels from standard, if I'm honest, design-wise, they come across a little bit weak. On the G80, they nailed the wheels. The wheels look really nice. Not as good as MW4s, but they do look really nice. Now, we have the solution to this within our M-WX range. It's probably the wheel that we have the widest range of fitment with, and we're using a 10.5 by 21 front and an 11 by 22 rear to complement the size of the car. They come on 20 and 21, so it was only natural to step it up a size, and with the design of the wheel, it will look phenomenal. We're and ahhing about colour at the minute. The customer's torn, definitely wants to go black, but torn between gloss black or satin black. On the previous F90, we had satin black on the MW4. We also did gloss black on the MW3. So we're open to suggestions at the minute. Still deciding between the two, but we've got the examples of what both finishes would look like behind me on the floor. I think either one's going to look amazing. Personally, I think I'm edging towards satin black a little bit. The car will look phenomenal. I think the contrast, when the light hits satin, it just goes absolutely lovely. But take a look over the car. We're going to get it in, get the parts put on it, finalise everything, and then we'll have a final look, hopefully with some more sunshine.
So customers gone for the satin black finish with the gloss black bezel and of course the satin black centre. Pick that over the gloss black, good choice. Next step for us now is to trial fit the wheel to make sure we have a number of different clearances. Now there's not a lot of information out there, so a lot of it is taking what we know from the OEM wheel and adding what the equivalent would be, like a 10 or 12 or 15 mil spacer. So this particular setup, because we have now lowered it on the Cobra springs, we've not gone too wide because obviously we're going to a 22 and a 21. We've given this wheel here, the MW10, the equivalent of about a 10 mil spacer on the front and a 12 mil on the rear. And there's a number of ways we'll work that out, but the main way is to get it physically fitted to the car. So on the front here, you can see the 9.5 21 and of course the 11 22 at the back. Absolutely perfect, can't wait to get the tyres on. Number of things that we'll start to check now is obviously checking the X factor, which is this part behind the back of the wheel, which is where the caliper comes down towards the hub. Now that's different on every single wheel, so you can't go and take what you've seen online and think, hey, that works on my wheel, because it all depends on the clearance on the back of the spoke here. But as you can see, we have plenty of room. And the guys will of course do a lock to lock, work out how close it could be to the plastics. That's tricky to tell until you put the tyres on, but you get a rough idea. And of course the back as well, just to make sure we're not too close to that strut. It all looks good so far. So the next steps is we're going to fit some Continental Contact 7 tyres to this. Yet again, it's a new car, and one thing we do want to be a bit careful of is the axle weights of this car. The load rating on the tyres is very high. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's like 105, 107 on the Contact 7s. But of course we need something like that because this is not a slow car and it's not a light car. So next we get the tyres fitted up, get it cleaned, and then we'll get Alex back on the camera to see what he thinks his overall impressions of the car.
So Mike's finished running you through the specs on the wheels, and since the day the car was confirmed on order, it's been a bit of a saga with wheel specs on this. Widths, offsets, sizes, colours, but as I'm sure Mike's ran you through all of that. So the exciting day has finally come where the wheels are on the car. We've absolutely nailed it on them. In my personal opinion, the satin black against the Brooklyn Grey works really, really nicely. The 3D cap adds that level of detail. Obviously, we lowered the car previously. It's been a couple of days now, so we've had the opportunity for the car to really settle on the springs, and they look amazing. I wouldn't want it any lower than that. I think you'd be compromising daily comfort, ride quality, that kind of stuff, but it's absolutely sorted it straight out. Spoiler looks amazing. The mirror caps have a really technical design to them. I love the way they're going with the styling on these cars, and personally, I just about think we've managed to beat the F90. I think when the rest of the carbon kit's on the car and it's done and looking amazing, I think, yeah, we'll have something really special here. But me and Jay are just about to take it outside, have a look at it in the sunlight, take a look over this, you don't want to miss it.